Hello, this is Joe Pryor of the virtual realestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, a part of Redbud Realty and Associates. And I hope you got a chance to see my six-part series on investing in Oklahoma City real estate called I.N.V.E.S.T. There's also an introduction. Because what we did is we took a letter of I.N.V.E.S.T. and each one we highlighted a special part about investing in real estate, things that you need to know. Certainly not all the information, but something to start with especially if you're a new investor. We talked about the stability of the Oklahoma City market, the low vacancy rate, how strong our rental market is, the positive cash flow that's here, the lack of risk as versus highly speculative markets, especially people in bubble markets where you're seeing a lot of variations in pricing. We talked about how you can defer taxes, how the government allows you to depreciate your asset, and how that can offset any kind of taxes to your positive cash flow. So gave you a lot of information. Talked about an exit strategy, which is very important, kind of where we start and where we want to end up. And let's talk about in a summarizing fashion where you could end up very easily if you invest in real estate. You know, there's a real problem in this country right now, which is the economy. And we're seeing situations like with American Airlines right now. We saw it with the major car manufacturers in Detroit, that a lot of pensions were lost, a lot of savings were lost. And this is not just in those two industries, but all across the board, the people who thought they had retirement built up are not seeing retirement anymore. A lot of it is just disappearing. Companies are going out of business. Wouldn't you like to have control over your own destiny? And that's one of the great reasons to invest in real estate. You can, even in your own community, go by, you can touch it, you can see it. You can see the money going into your account. You and the property manager have control over it. Some corporation somewhere can't just bankrupt you out of your money. So this is a very, very important thing. Now, also wealth accumulation is a big factor in terms of investing in real estate. I can't think of a better time to buy houses than right now because prices are at their lows. So what we're doing here is talking even on a short-term basis, and I'm saying 8 years is a short-term basis, having tremendous wealth accumulation. Let me give you an example. We talked about a $100,000 purchase in the Oklahoma City market. And we talked about the fact that that gives you positive cash flow. Well, let's say we held that property for 8 years and we just cashed out of that property. And we put in a modest amount of appreciation that 8 years down the road that it was worth $126,000, especially if you buy it right now. And so that's not much for 8 years down the road. So even with that factor, even with you paying me to resell it and paying some closing cost, paying taxes, which would be about $11,000 if you cashed out in terms of capital gains and what we call recapture tax on the depreciation. And if we took that amount, paid off your loan, added back in the amount of money that you made in terms of positive cash flow plus your net proceeds, we're talking about $87,000 in 8 years. Think about that if you did that 10 times. At the end of 8 years, if you could do 10 houses, you're talking about $870,000 in accumulated cash after taxes. An incredible amount. I just don't know where else you can do something like this. Now, I'm not telling you you should sell in 8 years. In fact, we talked about not taking that $11,000 taxes, doing what's called a 1031 tax deferred exchange, and putting that back into another house, and then we don't pay $11,000. So that $87,000 is increased to $98,000 in terms of gross proceeds from that house, and we build more wealth. And just think about where you can be in 20 or 25 or 30 years. By the time you get to your retirement age, you have a tremendous amount of equity, probably paid for houses, at least a couple of $1 million probably in terms of net worth, cash net worth, and money that's still coming in as cash flow if you don't want to sell it. So investing in real estate is a fantastic idea. I'm not telling you to sell everything in the farm in order to buy just real estate. Nobody should tell you to do that. But I think at this point, if you're not putting part of your portfolio into rental property and a long-term situation, you're missing out not only on a great opportunity, but an opportunity to have something that you control, your bricks and mortar, your property, no one else's. And we take a leverage from the lender, 80% of it, and only putting 20% down because that $86,000 came on $22,000 investment. than a $98,000 on a $22,000 investment in terms of proceeds, net proceeds. And we have tremendous wealth accumulation. Please call me so we can discuss investing in the Oklahoma City, Oklahoma market. I am at joe@joepryor.com. That's JOEPRYOR. joe@joepryor.com. Let's set up a consultation. Let me talk a little bit more in detail about investing in real estate. And let's help build wealth for your long-term health, your long-term future. This is Joe Pryor of the virtualrealestateteam.com in Oklahoma City, where we deliver traditional real estate values at the speed of technology.